Skedaddle Skedeavers, it's the Spears, and today I've got a more unusual video for us. We'll be reading a book. It's Destiny 2, Grimoire Anthology. It's actually from Destiny 1. So, if someone talk a bit about why I haven't been playing Destiny, if you don't want to listen to this, you can skip to the time. It's either going to be in the comments, description, or I might see if I can edit it and see if we can display like right here or something. Okay, first up is this backwards. It's not okay. So why haven't I been playing Destiny? It's because I'm getting kind of tired. Because I like the story, I like the weapons, I like the characters, I like everything else. It's getting kind of boring. PvP isn't particularly that fun anymore. I don't have any people playing it still. It's just, and it's just becoming grinding to get those weapons I want to get. And I don't want that. And also I don't really have any friends playing it. And it's a game that's way better when you have friends. I still really like the franchise, and I might come back to it later. I don't know. I still love it. I still love Destiny. It's still one of my favorite games I've ever played. It's kind of at a down spot right now. Like I want something different. Like I kind of like how they're doing it, but I want something a bit different. And I don't know. Still might be one of the best games ever. It's just if you need people. I don't have people. Alright, so let's actually get to what this video is supposed to be. Reading this. Now, one of the big things I love in Destiny is the lore. I love it. I love knowing the backstory of a game. When I look for in a good game, I look for good controls, good weapons that I like. Just a nice feeling game, like a game that's satisfactory to play, and a game that's not good, that it changes, a game that just a fun game. With Siege, I can play with friends. Another thing is being able to play with friends. But one of my favorite things in game is just the backstory. I like knowing what causes what. Like reading the operator bios and Destiny's lore. This is my favorite part of this game. Is this lore. This right here. But alright, so Destiny Grimoire Anthology, Volume 1. Volume 1, Dark Mirror. Forward, the stories tell of a golden age, long ago, when our civilization spanned the system. It was a bright and hopeful time, but it didn't last. With these few words, the first delicate seeds of the universe were sown. Many hands had already begun to nurture the primordial ideas and form the bedrock of a world. Many, many more would soon come to lend themselves to the task of tending what would become a vast and varied gardens of story, and of names and places springing forth from the fundament. Some grew and grasped the light, blossomed, and as human creation as so often do, many of our world's myths and monuments fell to ruin. And now, here you are in the midst of 1,000 radiant roses and ruinous ends. Within this anthology is a selection of voices, the fiction about very much living creatures that witness the collapse of an age, yet go striving to shape a future to their own design. These tales, too, are only just beginning. As you read, you detect 1,000 more sources to come, dormant, hidden deep within the fertile soil. The whisper and grasp and dare you to take root in your imagination, to inspire you not only with what is revealed and implied by these words, these pages, these works, but to allow you to imagine what may yet emerge. Each new revelation may itself be a seed to sow, nurture, and tend the shaping of what to come. Bungie. Oh. Not used to how I have set up a webcam. Introduction. I've always felt that this world contains many secrets, forgotten swords waiting to be discovered. However, like many players, I first ignored that feeling and just pursued precious loot. It was only after my vault was full and my enemies defeated they asked, why? Why am I doing this? Yeah, I'm gonna take parts out of this. And that's one of the things. Like, sure, at first you're just gonna go through and play a game, but then that's only half of the experience. Half the experience of the game is just playing it. The other half is knowing why things are happening, what's this important for. Like, I'm just like sure, it's fun to go on an absolute rampage and just go kill a bunch of enemies. That's fun, no, but Why? What's the purpose of this? Alright, back. So it began. I read the journals of defeated enemies, memories of a dying ghost, the etchings on the barrel of a weapon. I realized there was much more to this world. I became not a player, but a storyteller, a chronicle of Destiny's histories, fusing my discoveries to my own perspectives and their interpretation. Weapons were no longer weapons. Armor, no longer just armor. Enemies, no longer just targets. Understanding the lore of Destiny complemented and enhanced the gameplay. Pulling the trigger now had weight. Rockets howl with the sacrifice of fallen guardians. I was the first, now not the last. Many lives have been inspired by the history and fiction of Destiny, piecing together fragments of the Destiny universe in their own way. Some stories are hidden, misleading, deceptive, and still fiercely debated. This authority does not set out to solve these issues, but instead entice you to join the conversation. Destiny Grimoire Anthology, Volume 1 Dark Mirrors is about your path as a guardian and the haunting temptation of the dark. The collection of lore entries and fall challenges you see this world through different perspectives, the vanquished, the corrupted, and the shadow. It does not represent everything, it rather represents a version of events told by many characters through many eyes. The truth is for you to decide. From Fellow Guardian. Dark Mirror. Chapter 1. The Book of Sorrow. So, what I'm going to be reading today is the Book of Sorrow. If you don't know this, essentially it's the story of the hive and the taken in Oryx and Crota and all that. How they became to be, how this all started. It's personally one of my most favorite interesting lore. Chapter 1. The Book of Sorrow. What is this violent ritual, these tales of suffering, where all ends in a feast of maggots and rot laid on a worm table for gods to feast on misery? But is not the light also served by savage sacrifice, accepted wounds, blood spilled in the dust of distant worlds? Life and death and life and death and life and death are locked in a battle that never ends. Cycle's the same, pain's the same. We eliminate those who oppose the light. They annihilate those who do not wish the dark. In the end, only sorrow remains. Alright. First picture, right. Verse 1, verse 1-0. The fundament. Dear sister, it's taken me 2 years, a quarter of our lives, but I found the proof. We aren't native to the fundament. Our ancient ancestors came here to hide. Plately stone we live on, and our osmium court is one fragment of a rocky planet that crashed into the fundament and broke apart. All the other nearby continents, the helium drinkers, the Boba Plaza, the star cutters, came from the same world. Perhaps the other races of the fundament migrants too. We live on a shrapnel of our homeworld, floating on an ocean deep inside a gas giant. That's what fundament must be, a titanic gas plant. Endless thermal above us must be one layer of the atmosphere, and the sea we float on. There's more down beneath it, so much more. You understand what this means, Athona. The timid truth is a lie. We aren't meant to be the world's prey. We weren't born to live and die in the dark. We have a better destiny. Tell our father, sister Sathona, this is proof of his life's work. With love, for your second birthday, your first surviving sister, Orosh. So, Orosh is Oryx. Sathona is Savathun. Like, this is, their names change over time. That's a bit of an explanation. Okay. Verse 1-1. Predators. Predators and menaces. Carved to endure by Zero. Third scientist of the Osmium King's last brood. A Stormjoy. A Stormjoy is a living cloud. When it passes over a continent, it lowers its feeding tentacles. On each tentacle are the bait stars. Although light makes you happy, you must avoid it. You will be eaten. A Stormjoy is a good way for the old person to choose death. Also, a daring knight can cut the bait stars from the tentacles. I have 6. Falling. If you fall off the edge of a continent, you will die in the ocean. Special hazard when the Osmium King uses the entrance. Helium drinkers. The currents of the fundamental ocean bring us near other continents. The helium core is near us now. They are of our species, but they are our enemies. Their knights race every day. Helium drinkers have 2 legs, 2 arms, and 3 eyes, just like us. But they are bright/evil. I want to be a knight and fight them. The helium drinker ambassador ate 10 of my sisters as tribute. This is normal. Clever. I resent it. Mothers can fly. They live much longer than 10 years. Mothers are extremely smart, and they guard the spawn. If you try to tamper with the eggs, they'll eat you. So Thona wants to eat the jelly and become a mother when she turns 4. Storms. The rain is often poisonous. Sometimes it dissolves flesh. When lightning misses the lightning farm, it can vaporize a person. The entire world is deadly to us. Mysteries. The fundament is very large, with the smallest things in it. If you don't understand something, it'll probably kill you. My teacher Teok says this is why we live such short lives, so we can breed and adapt quickly. Moonwaves. My sister Orosh is feared of moonwaves. When she gets back from her expedition to the tungsten monoliths, I will ask her why. Verse 1-2, the hateful verse. From the consideration of the Helium Court, written in desperation, sealed in secret. I am Teox, sterile mother, teacher of the children to the Osmium throne. Hang on, I'm just adjusting the English. As a mother, I live long. As I neuter, N-E-U-T-E-R, I can rise above the small battles of court politics. I alone see the path to survival. Alone I design the great engines that move the Osmium Court now. Alone I must save my kingdom. Senility has claimed my lord the Osby King. He is 10 and mad. The study of ancient texts consumes him. Today he raves about moons above the storm. Tomorrow he will wander the hall, speaking to his familiar, a dead white worm from the deep sea. He keeps it in glass, and he tends to it, and he neglects his duty as his king. The Osby King has 3 surviving heirs, each 2 years old. Zero, the youngest and the bravest, wants to be a knight. Sthona, most clever, wants to be mother. Orosh, navigator child who dreams of the infinite ocean. Tomorrow she returns from the tungsten monolith. None of these are suitable heirs. None of them will protect the Osmium Court from the howling fundament. Zero can fight, but not lead. So they can think, but not fight. Orosh's curiosity will draw away from duty. I fear for all future children. So the Osmium King will lock himself in the world warriors so they gather your knights, O Helium Drinkers, and invade our continent. Kill the 3 heirs. I will rule the Osmium Court as your regent and build engines for you. If I fail, let the Leviathan eat me. Rid in grief, this hateful request. Teox, Osmium Mother. Newer to watch. So yeah, quick explanation. So Teox is the teacher of the three heirs. And so the Osmium King, he's kind of going a bit crazy, and he's kind of obsessing over these moon waves and stuff. And so what Teox sees is, alright, none of these heirs are good. They each have one good trait, but they each have like a big weakness. So yeah, I'm just gonna go fight the Helium Drinkers. Just kill them, and then I'll establish rule, and I'll give you guys stuff if you do this. Yeah. No wonder the hive have such bad history. No. Verse 1-3, the oath. Sisters, this is how an oath is done. Put your left hands on the mast, close to mine. Take the knife in your right hand. Push it through your left hand, straight between the bones. Now, carve a bloodline down the mast. Speak your oath. I am Zero, youngest daughter of the dead king. I will take back my Osmium Court and kill the traitor Teox. On my left eye, I swear vengeance. In blood, the oath is made. I am Sthona, middle daughter of the dead king. I will take back my home and eat the mother jelly. I will raise my spawn on the corpse of the Helium King. On my right eye, I promise this. In blood, the oath is made. Now, I will help make your oath, sister. I will help you too. I am Orosh, first star of the dead king. I will chase my father's last scream warning. I will know why would change the motion of our moons. If the end of the world is coming, I will understand why. On my center eye, I swear this. I will understand. Blood oath is made. And when in blood, the oath is made. In blood. Thank you, sisters. We have only my ship left us, but a ship is freedom. We have secrets to hunt, stormlit realms to explore, and great armies to race. Hope the lightning sails, and we will voyage far. So this is the aftermath of what happened. So they went in, they killed the Osmium King, but the 3 heirs managed to escape. Verse 1-4, the Syzygy, the S-Y-Z-Y-G-Y. S-Y-Z-Y-G-Y. The Syzygy. I forget how to The Syzygy, carved to endure by Orosh, the High Vengeance. Only Zero's Batestars let escape. Only Sithona's tricks let reach the coast. But now they have my ship, I must lead the way. I am the navigator. May we never see our homes again. Zero sees with hate and fear for Teox. But this is my deepest fear. Our civilization drifts in the fundament. At the tungsten monoliths, I learned that thousands of other species drift with us, coexisting on a vast world sea. The tides of the fundament move us up. The ultimate truth says we're the smallest but fragile things alive, the natural prey of the universe. Teox would have us believe that our ancestors came to the fundament to hide from every void. My father died afraid. Not of the vile Teox the Helium Drinkers, but his Ori. He screamed to me, Orosh, my first daughter! The moons are different! The laws are bent! And he made the sign of the Syzygy. Imagine, 52 moons of fundament lining up in the sky. It won't take all 52, of course, just a few mass moons, but this is my deepest fear. Imagine the gravity pulling on the fundament sea, lifting into a solar bulge. Imagine the bulge collapsing as the Syzygy passed. A wave big up the 12 stellations, a god wave. At to finally stop it before the god wave annihilates the species. If I can only get back to my father's orrery, I can learn exactly when. So yeah, all moons line up, creates big wave, everything dies. Bad. They don't want that. Oh wait, it's not done yet. We are weeks of travel and many colonies away from home. When I'm paralyzed with fear, Zero sits in the cabin with me and comforts me with soft, brave words. But more and more we have to rely sadly into it. She will go off to be alone. She insists she must be alone. Return with some mad idea. Stare into the storm, or I met, eat that strange beast, explore that menacing wreck. Somehow, Sothonan seems to manufacture good luck by sheer will. Verse 1-5. Needle and worm. My secrets. Carved in my code by Sathona, the right eye vengeance. This year of wild voyaging, these lightning nights and golden days, these forays into ancient wrecks and windblown fights from monsters, these are the happiest times of my life. That was one. 2. I want to be a mother not because I want to spawn, but because I want a long life. Long enough to make a difference. We have been sea here, I'm afraid. Afraid we will die here. 3. I know where to find secrets. I know where vast things with long memories live. 4. Leadership. Leadership. Carved in my code by Sathona, a liar. 1. We salvaged the needle from the SHVUBI to the Shuvui Maelstrom. I knew it would be there. 2. The needle is a gray ship, as long and slender as hope, as unbreakable as time, and older than death. It tumbled through the maelstrom before our ancestors crashed into the front of it. This is not a sea ship like Warash's. It is an artifact of high technology. 3. I know its purpose. I know how to crew. 4. Zero wants to sell the ship at the Kahan Atoll, where species gather. At auction, it would ask enough wealth to divers to retake our Osmond court and send the baby-eating healing drinker screaming into the ocean. That was 4. 5. Well, I told Zero the ship was worthless. 6. Warash wants to open the ship and see if we can take command of it. I know this is the right thing to do. I know because I asked the worm. The worm, carved in my code by Stone, who should be afraid. 1. It's my father's familiar. I ripped it from as we fled. It is a dead white thing, segmented, washed up by the Dead Sea, too. It's dead, but it still speaks to me. It says, listen closely. Oh, vengeance mine. Verses 1-6. Sisters. A register token to justice exchanged before the end of this. 0. My brave sister, you have worked too hard to move the carcasses out of the birthing room. Come, steal the ship for what? Take joy in our needle can do. 0 tried to protest, but secretly she was so glad for Orash's care. She flew near the shipping, cutting circles down with the sea, and their wake roasted the surface like a traitor's dying breath. Orash, the navigator, you have traveled so far with only each other. I know you love to hear and speak in tongues. Come sit in the flesh garden room. I read you those stories I bought at Kahan. Flesh garden room? Don't know if I like the sound of that. Orash sat among the mummified flesh fans with 2 of her eyes closed and listened in silence to Sathona's stories, hungry to understand, voracious to know as much as she could before her 10-year life debt. Yeah, the proto-hive is what we're going to call these, what the people refer to them as. They have really short lives, and they only live 10 years. Imagine only living 10 years. The only way to live longer is to become a mother. If I eat some weird jelly, then you can have babies. I don't know. Pretty sure I don't want to understand it. Meh. Alright. Later, Zero said, Sona, cutting mind of ours, you grew lonely in your thought. Play swords and lanterns with me. What is swords and lanterns? I'm kind of curious. Also kind of not. But Sona was heavy with sorrow, and couldn't pretend any joy to chase Zero through the needle glistening halls. Oh, I think it's kind of like a game, like the star lanterns things and swords trying to chase them and cut them off the Stormjoy things. Maybe? I don't know. Still a pensive one. What is it? What troubles you? Her sister, listen, Luna said. Oath-bearing siblings. We are 5 years old. For 2 years we worked to repair this ancient ship and its systems. I've always tooled for the Mother Jelly, and the knights who killed our father are surely dying of age. We 3 will die here in exile. Teakshat Lewis, Orash, Leonide Orash, we will die of old age long before we have any proof of your god wave or any way to stop it. That's kind of sad. Orash and Zero look at each other. I wish you weren't so honest, Zero said. And Orash thought that Selena had never been wrong. In her soul, Orash knew the only way to keep her oath was to find a great top secret. A secret that could change everything. This is Warsh's soul, her fire and her shadow, her desire to cut through the flank of the world and find its beating heart. We have to dive, Laura said. That's what this ship is built to do. Dive into the fundament, the world below us, towards the core. That's where the crew died, so seemingly Zero protested. That's where the atrocity in the birthing room was born. We have to dive, Sothona said, while the whispers were familiar. And in the worlds beneath us, in the metallic depths, I hope we may find what we need most. More time, more life. Verse 1-7, the dive. For life, Sothona dove. For vengeance, Zero dove. And Orash dove to understand. The inner ship pierced the skin of the world and burrowed deep. Through layers of foam and metal and cold elemental slush, Orash devoured the ship's maps of fundament. From the high angelic cloud decks down and down through storms and oceans and plates of floating world into the crush of the. They met monsters of continental scope, faster than enemies that raised glowing tentacles to bait them in. Zero flew the neo ship through them, and they bled black carbon jelly and frost. They came to a still place beneath a plate of metal. I'll use the sensors, whispered Orash. Listen. In the wet gold dark of the helm, they listened to the ship, and the ship listened to the crushing motions of the thunder. They heard the collision of continents. They heard the patter and the crash of helium neon rain. They heard the struggles of monsters. And they heard the distant groan of the ocean rising, tugged by distant winds. This is real, so Sothona hissed. It's already begun. Behind them, Zero thought of the birthing room. Raging explorers had labored over surgeries and administrations, pinning back the chrysalis and the call which they had made from the deep, whose birth none of them would survive. There's something down here, she whispered. Something secret. And the Leviathan loomed over them, its brows huge as all the continents of their childhood, its gray airy fins cackling with the lightning of life, booming into the hull of the ocean. In a microwave voice, you must turn back. Save yourselves from the deep. Save the world from yourselves. You must turn back. The Leviathan talks in this weird language. Sorry. See it here? Talks like this with like weird symbols and stuff next to it. Right down here at the bottom. Wrong side. Right here. Yeah, it's because it's verse 1-8. Leviathan. The Leviathan's warning. We live on the edge of a war between formless and form, between the deep and the sky. My eyes are wide, my gaze is long across the universe as far as I see. The sky works to charge its fires, the deep drowns the ash. Sky builds gentle places, safe for life. Beloved fundament, refuge of trillions, the sky treasures its rich place. But the deep is here with us. Cold logic tests our wills. The deep claims its dominion, a ruthless final age. Orash's protest. Old Leviathan, creature of myth, this world is no refuge. We live short, hard lives. We die in the dark. The storm above us will never end, and soon the god will take us all. Above us there are only storm joys, monsters, and moons of apocalypse. Let us go down, where we may discover truth, some power to avenge ourselves upon our betrayals, some hope of survival. Leviathan's hope. What power calls you down to the deep? What instinct draws you away from high hope? Quick-breeding crow people, I tell you, for eons I have watched your struggle, clinging to the sharp edge of survival, balanced between the deep and the sky. You are my treasure, my proof against despair. For this is the deep claim. Existence is the struggle to exist. When the struggle seems lost, when the safe place crumbles, everything turns to the deep to survive. I reject the deep claim. You will turn back, sweet crow of hope. You will choose the sky instead. Zero's protest. You are huge and old. Our lives are short and desperate. If that's where the world's supposed to be, I won't have it. If people like Taex are supposed to win, I won't let them. I'll beat the world until it changes. I'll kill anything in the way. Leviathan dirge. This fatal logic. Hear my monopole scream. It will consume you. Before you lies the worship of death, the ruinous path. The sky builds new life. Against the onset of ruin, towards a gentle world, the deep embraces death, saying, this is inevitable and right, I exist as hungry ruin. Turn back from the world-killing way, or you will live its death and devastation. The sky is the harder way, but it is kinder. My charge is balanced, my voice is gutsy. Sothona's protest. Sisters, I have our flaws familiar. Look, answers me in plain words. Help me find this ship. It gave you strength and hope is lost. Who will you trust? The voice that wants us to live and suffer as we have lived and suffered? The Leviathan offers no hope against Taox, the world wave, or the plane on a swim. Let us see where this whisper leads, Rush. Let us go deeper, Zero. Let us dive, O sisters mine. Alright, that's the first part of this is the first part of Book of Sorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like me, because I'm going to finish this. If you like me doing this, I will finish this. I might read other books too. I have this one and I have the second anthology. I don't know if there's been a third one. If they have, please tell me. I'd like to grab it. And goodbye.